one thing that people have to remember, that refugees did not choose to be refugees.
Aquí no tenemos vida, viejo, así no. Tú lo estás llevando el diablo, viejo.
Exceptional Minds is a place you can go and you'll be accepted and you'll learn things, and it's awesome.
kumkimbisha gari bila kuwa na ruhusa.
You cannot give money or tips to police officers or government officials or any type, even as a thank you for assistance. No money, no tips. It's illegal to leave a young child alone at home. So that is some of the American laws. Do you guys have any questions about that? Those are some. You learn more at cultural orientation.
My name is Sheila Mastro Pietro, and I am the local office director of Church World Service in Lancaster. The money that we get from the Department of State for the, we call it Reception and Placement program, the RNP program, it's really only enough money to provide 90 days of support and provide basic necessities. So that's housing, clothing, food, get a social security card, enroll children in school, enroll parents in ESL, get a medical check, treat all the medical needs.
No more cold.
Dental. So that's just the beginning. And then we have 8 other programs that are refugee support programs. So it's not as if we drop refugees after 90 days, but even the amount of time that we work with people, the integration has to keep on going.
Hi. How are you? I have a creep coming on. Goes in, comes back out. Okay. So not right now. So we can do it, you can do it when we come back later, and then if you pull it, the bus will stop. This bus is scheduled on the weekend, so Saturday and Sunday. All right, so we are back at the station. So in your schedule book, if it ever says Queen Street Station, that means in here. So you just come and look for your bus number.
My name is Dux Mbungu Kalamba. I'm from Congo. I'm a Congolese by nationality. I'm a penner and I'm 38 years old. I came here 2 years ago. It was a big challenge when I first came because I didn't meet any African man or anyone to help me, someone who can speak same language of me so that we can help each other. It took time. That's the reason made me to decide now to be a volunteer helping newcomers in our city. When I first started doing my job as a penner, I had so many challenges. I have to prove to people, to say no. Some of people never saw black people.
Initially, people are excited to be here and happy. They see all the food that we have. They have, the shelter, it's theirs. But they immediately start worrying, like, how are we going to pay for this? After a month or so, then they start to think about what they left behind. Trauma comes out. Trauma comes out really not initially, but at the end of the first year, maybe starting to think back on what they fled from, starting to miss their food, their land, their home. That's one thing that people have to remember, that refugees did not choose to be refugees. It wasn't as if they heard wonderful things about America and wanted to live here forever and never see their country again. I mean, sometimes that's difficult for people to understand. They think that people are drawn here and think that we have it good and they want to have a piece of that. But everybody, all the refugees, they would much rather be living in their home if there weren't a war there, or if they didn't have to fear being threatened or hurt or killed. Since I moved to Arizona, I started working with refugees from all over the world. And at the end of 2016, I met a group of volunteers actively helping refugees, and we met each other on a Facebook group. So over the winter break, somebody posted about a Syrian Swiss exchange being done in Tucson, where Syrian refugees baked a lot of delicious sweets and brought to a church for a bake sale, and there were hundreds of people supporting. So a couple of volunteers posted about that and asked if anyone's interested in helping.
Whenever I came, I haven't anybody, any friends, but volunteers, American volunteers, helped me on everything. I made sweet just for family in my country. Now, volunteers help me to sell my sweets in farmers market.
I've never tried Syrian sweets before, but I'm really excited. We got the whole family out today, and we're coming to the farmers market, and we're just trying the different stands here and all the different food. By buying some of her Syrian sweet stuff, you're actually helping to support a refugee and helping her get a great start here in America.
After the overwhelming response of the first Syrian Swiss exchange, we continue to host more bake sales at churches, synagogues, Arizona State universities, and local bookstores. Besides the Syrian Swiss exchange, we have the reading program where we connect refugees, families to a reading volunteer.
Do you have a television in the house? Where is it? The initial idea of the reading program was to match each family with a local volunteer that goes and visits them in their house and reads for an hour or so on a regular basis, and ideally on a weekly basis for consistency purposes. We didn't only create this opportunity for children to read with a local volunteer in English and advance their reading and comprehension skills, and we also connected them with local families, and they created friendships and relationships, and that is helping with the transition of these refugee families into our community.
What is this one? Yes.
I think that if each one of us put in a little bit effort, a lot can be done to help them rebuild their life in their new homeland. My dad always told us about the time when he first came. He had a family sponsor who helped him with getting his driver license, getting library card, and helped him get a job.
It takes some time, right? This thing takes time.
It does.
Yes.
And it did take some time.
Yes.
City of Asylum Pittsburgh began to provide sanctuary to a writer exiled under threat of persecution. The writer could be endangered with prison, violence, or censored in a way that you can't publish freely. Our goal is to provide a place to live, a living income, and medical benefits. We feel it's extremely important that the writer maintain the identity of being a writer, and the only way to do that in exile is to be published in the country you're in. In the United States, there are two other cities of asylum, both university affiliated, one at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Wole Soyinka, the writer who was instrumental in founding the whole movement worldwide, was in exile and in the faculty there for a good deal. And the other program is a consortium of universities in Ithaca, so he himself was instrumental in getting these other two programs. We have 4 houses with writing on the outside in various languages that were inspired by the original writer in our program, Wang Zhang. Wang Zhang was from China, and when he came here, he wanted to celebrate his freedom. He had never been allowed to express himself. He'd been tortured where his mouth had been beaten in, so he couldn't even recite his poetry publicly, or they tried to prevent it in China. As more writers came to our program and we began to provide more houses for them, we used that idea of publishing a book, but we called it house publishing. And we were creating a public library of these houses as you walk down the street. So we have House Poem, Winged House, We have Jazz House and we have Pittsburgh Burma House. We've had writers now from long-term program from 6 different countries: China, El Salvador, Burma, Venezuela, Iran, and Bangladesh.
Estoy ahorita de nani, cuidando niños. No es mi profesión. Añoro mi profesión, extraño mi profesión. No es fácil ser un emigrante en otro país. Sabes que tienes que dejar muchas cosas, no solo tus afectos, tus amistades. En este caso yo soy odontólogo, dejé mis pacientes también, pero ya llegaba un momento en que ni siquiera los pacientes los podías atender porque no tenías medicamentos. Bueno, mi hija pues no estaba tan pequeña cuando yo decidí venirme para acá. Pues realmente ya mi hija tenía en ese momento 7 años, hace muy poco realmente que yo estoy aquí, yo tengo solo 5 meses. Pero cada vez que yo veo estos bebés, que yo veo mis sobrinos, que yo veo los niños aquí sí, y veo a mi hija interrelacionarse con ellos y veo su tranquilidad a la hora de ir al colegio, a la hora que ella se va a salir a disfrutar un parque, siento que fue la mejor decisión. Mira, ¿qué tenemos? La arepa. En este caso, pues yo lavé platos en un restaurante, yo limpié casas, limpié restaurantes también. Estoy ahorita de nani, cuidando niños. No es mi profesión. Añoro mi profesión, extraño mi profesión. Allá el que ayuda, también lo siguen. Yo tengo que tener un seudónimo. Yo en mis redes sociales, por lo menos en esta, cuando es una ayuda particular, lo hacemos por medio del WhatsApp. O sea, si yo, por ejemplo, veo aquí a alguien, le pido a otro de nuestros integrantes de la organización que se acerque a ver qué tan cierto es que esa persona necesita esos medicamentos. Y se hace inmediatamente, se busca cómo llevarle, aunque sea algo de alimento, a esos niños. Y hay una lucha, hay un enfrentamiento, y algunos de esos jóvenes los agarran y les quitan el celular. Lo primero que hacen es revisar las redes sociales, con quién se comunican. Entonces, desde ese punto de vista, siempre hemos tenido temor que a nosotros, por ser activos, por ayudar a los muchachos en la parte de salud, en la parte de insumos, agua, para protección de nosotros mismos, usar seudónimos, no hablarnos por los nombres, no decir zonas de trabajo, no decir profesiones. ¡Ah! ¡Te gané! Y en el momento en que Venezuela empiece a surgir, yo estoy plenamente segura de que así como yo deseo volver a Venezuela y ayudar a la reconstrucción, muchísimos profesionales van a tomar la misma decisión, que es volver a Venezuela. Porque nosotros amamos a nuestra Venezuela, la llevamos a nuestro corazón, nos duele Venezuela.
No estoy recibiendo tratamiento para ninguna de las 2 enfermedades. Para el cáncer no hay mi quimio y para la tuberculosis no hay pastilla. Soy madre soltera. Soy el sustento del hogar. Me siento mal porque no tengo tratamiento. Y cada día me voy descompensando más, estoy más flaca. Es difícil conseguir comida para todos. Y eso produce que me dé dolor, que mi cuerpo sienta dolor, pues que me sienta angustia, no duermo. Y no es tanto ser pobre, sino pasa tanto trabajo.
Pasó lo que pasó, pues, y a raíz de no tener su alimentación, él se me murió a raíz de esto. Me nutrió tanto que ya los huesitos se le veían en su cuerpo. Ya la cara de él no era igual. A veces pasamos todo el día hasta la noche. A veces nos comemos, a veces nos acostamos sin comer. Busco la manera de de conseguirle pagarle más que todo a los más pequeños. Ponen a llorar, mami, tengo hambre. Y bueno, eso me parte el alma cuando ellos me piden algo, pero no es fácil. No es fácil pasar por esto. La pobreza en el estado que yo estoy ahorita. Hasta un caramelo que uno le pide, los niños le piden a uno, ¿cómo uno se lo compra antes?
La situación está difícil que yo creo que la esperanza no va a llegar. Y pasando la necesidad, bueno, que juega garrote, porque hay que comer hasta piedra. Porque estamos en una situación demasiado difícil. Y me siento mal porque incluso ni los medicamentos me llegan aquí, ni los consigo, ni tengo cómo comprarlos. En la noche no me acuesto sin comer, pero en el día sí la paso sin desayuno ni almuerzo. Eso no se lo deseo yo a nadie porque en la noche no duerme y ese estómago te ruge como que si tuvieras un león. Me protejo más allá afuera cuando está lloviendo que aquí adentro. Yo no sé cómo yo estoy vivo. Aquí no tenemos vida, viejo, así no. Lo está llevando el diablo, viejo.
We're all a bunch of people and we all kind of like similar things and we basically just all kind of hang out and be nerds together.
From a scale of 1 to 10, do you think your life would be different without animals?
I think it would be an 8 without animals because they add so much pleasure to life.
How else do you think your life would be different without them?
I could do without things like cockroaches and snakes.
Well, I'm okay with snakes as long as they're not venomous or can constrict you or anything.
Yeah, I'm not a big snake person.
But cockroach is just the insect we love to hate.
Yeah, it really is.
Have you ever felt like life is hopeless?
When I was a teenager, I was very depressed. And I think that can be quite common with teenagers who think a lot, and are perceptive.
Am I like that?
You were very much like that.
Do you have any mortal enemies?
I would say my worst enemy is sometimes myself, but I don't think I have any mortal enemies.
Have you ever lied to me?
I probably have, but I try not to lie to you, even though sometimes the questions you ask make me uncomfortable.
Like when we go on our walks, some of the questions I might ask.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel it's really special that you and I can have those kind of talks, even if sometimes I feel myself blushing a little bit.
Have you ever thought you couldn't cope with having a child?
I remember when you were a baby, you had really bad colic, so you would just cry and cry. And
What's
I didn't know
colic?
It's when you get this stomach ache and all you do is scream for like 4 hours
Even
a night.
louder than Amy does?
You were pretty loud, but Amy's was more high-pitched.
I think it feels like everyone seems to like Amy more, like she's like the perfect little angel.
Well, I can understand why you think that people like Amy more, and I'm not saying it's because of your Asperger's syndrome, but being friendly comes easily to Amy. Whereas I think for you, it's more difficult. But the people who take the time to get to know you love you so much.
Like Ben or Eric or Carlos.
Yeah, and
like I have better quality friends, but less quantity.
I wouldn't judge the quality, but I think...
I mean, like, first it was like Amy loved Claudia, then she hated Claudia, she loved Claudia, then she hated Claudia.
Part of that's a girl thing, honey. The important thing for you is that you have a few very good friends, and really that's what you need in life.
Did I turn out to be the son you wanted when I was born? Like, did I meet your expectations? And
you've exceeded my expectations, sweetie, because, sure, you have these fantasies of what your child's going to be like, but you have made me grow so much as a parent because you think...
Well, I was the one who made you a parent.
You were the one who made me a parent. That's a good point. But also because you think differently from, what they tell you in the parenting books.
Yeah.
I really had to learn to think out of the box with you. And it's made me much more creative as a parent and as a person. And I'll always thank you for that.
And that helped when Amy was born.
And that helped when Amy was born, but you were just so incredibly special to me. And I'm so lucky to have you as my son.
People with autism have some gifts, have some incredible talents that we need to develop. Here at Exceptional Minds, what we try and do is figure out what they're good at and make them better at it. Well, we like to say that we're changing lives one frame at a time. Exceptional Minds is a vocational program for young adults on the autism spectrum where we teach animation and visual effects. But more importantly, it's a place where these guys can come learn about themselves and grow and develop in a safe environment, but a very challenging environment. Well, this great group of parents got together and they said, we need to make a difference. And so they came to me. I had a visual effects studio at the other end of town, and they said, we need your help starting a school. And I said, well, all right, I'll give you 10 hours a week. And that turned into 20 and 30 and 40. And pretty soon I shut down my company and I dedicated myself to just working with these guys here at Exceptional Minds.
I started playing video games around, I want to say 4th grade, and never really looked back after that. I watch a lot of animated stuff, mostly Japanese anime. When I started here, I was a little nervous. I had absolutely no idea what I was in for. In a normal classroom, you just kind of sit there and they lecture at you, and you just get more and more bored because all you're doing is just sitting there listening. I guess I like coming here because it's so hands-on and we're doing so many different things.
The heart of our program is a full-time 3-year vocational program where they learn to do visual effects and animation and title work specifically for the entertainment industry. But we also have part-time programs, and we have a summer program for younger kids to kind of get indoctrinated in the kind of things that we're doing here. The program would teach them not only the technical skills that they needed, but the work readiness skills that they needed in order to get a job. So we focus on how they look and what their attitude is, and organizing themselves and problem solving on their own.
First year, we learned animation and Photoshop. Photoshop's pretty cool, actually. You can do a lot of really neat text effects. I'm learning a lot of editing and visual effects. I now know how to make a lightsaber. We're all a bunch of people, and we all kind of like similar things, and we basically just all kind of hang out and be nerds together, and it's awesome.
Our dream is that we can show other people how to do what we're doing, that they can, in their own towns, figure out ways that these individuals can be useful and have them be a part of society.
Exceptional Minds is a place you can go and you'll be accepted and you'll learn things, and it's awesome. I want the world to know that I like design.